King of our hearts Frankie Muniz has revealed there may be a Malcolm in the Middle reboot which he'd be 100% down to be in. The 2000s renaissance is about to peak, baby. Muniz played the titular Malcolm, who was also my first crush, in the hit series, which centers on his struggles as a nerdy outcast with a quirky working-class family. Muniz told Fox that his on-screen father Byran Cranston, aka Hal, is trying to get the fam back together for another run at the series. Bryan Cranston is really into the idea, he said of a possible reboot. He's kind of writing the script and getting everything rolling. So there might be something. Sorry, but this sounds like it's more than just a rumor. There is a script of sorts. I'm pretty sure we're being teased here, and not in the sexy way. However, I'm okay with it. You know why? Because Frankie Muniz, who I have a deep sense of loyalty to and love for, also said if there is indeed a reboot, he would be down to star in it. I am tearing up at the very thought. Muniz lost a huge chunk of his memory after suffering strokes, and this left him with no recollection of starring in Malcolm in the Middle. It's pretty emotional and sad for both him and fans, so the thought of Muniz getting to relive the show as an adult has me crying, screaming, throwing up. When I was filming the show, I obviously was a kid, Muniz recalled. We did 7 seasons, 151 episodes. I didn't really watch the show when it was on, but I've now since watched the show with my wife. We watched all 151 episodes, and I realized, wow, that's what we were making. I can separate myself from being on it and watching it as a fan. I would love to know what the family's up to. It's unclear whether the reboot would just be a reunion or new content, but Cranston seems to have pushed for the latter in the past. I'd love to, he told E! News in 2020 regarding a Malcolm in the Middle reboot. There's a possibility. We want to start talking about the possibility of putting together a story that makes sense about that family, 10 years later, or whatever, 12 years later. It's not unheard of. Speaking of reboots, Muniz also appears in the reboot of reality show Surreal Life, which premiered earlier this week. It really is the Frankie Muniz renaissance and I couldn't be more grateful. If you need me, I'll be binge watching Malcolm in the Middle on Disney+.